Hey, Tesla, how exciting. You just can't buy excitement like this. We're looking at the weekly chart here, and I'm going to go through that with you just in a bit. Talk about that dominant trend. The dominant trend is very important to traders. And we're going to cover the fair opening price for tomorrow on Friday, 1/3/25. What's it going to be? Grandpa hit it today, I'll tell you, multiple times just before the opening, and hit it the day before, too. Okay, so what happened? What happened to Tesla? Wow. Well, one thing that happened is they missed their delivery numbers fairly substantially, and uh, that does it right there. When those delivery numbers come out, the price went from the 411.44 fair opening price down to well, we opened at 392.73. That was our high today, and it's pretty much where we opened. So that's about a $19-20 drop right out of the chute, just even before by the opening. When the news came out at 9 o'clock, she just plummeted, and the stop loss hunters, they're alive and well. It was a dark, gloomy day in Tesla today. The stop loss hunters were coming for the traders. But the traders held strong right up until their stop losses hit. And did the stop loss hunters know in advance what the delivery numbers were? Grandpa thinks so. Yes, they knew in advance. But there again, it's exciting times in Tesla. Big miss on deliveries, and we're going to go through. We have a lot of hope in this stock. Things are bright in your future, and Grandpa will explain all that to you and more. So in New Orleans, we had the guy that decided to run over everybody, and as far as Grandpa knows so far, there's 15 dead, 34 injured, some very seriously. I hope it's no more than 15 that ends up dying, but you just don't know. Now then you have the one over in Las Vegas that blew up in front of the Trump Towers Hotel there. Now both these drivers were in the same base in the U.S. at the same time. They're trying to link whether they actually knew each other or not. Kind of seems like to Grandpa that they probably did. They both blew up rented vehicles through the same company. That's where they rented them, the Cybertruck and that other thing that the other guy in New Orleans was driving. And they both served in Afghanistan at the same time. So Grandma says that's a lot of coincidences. So they're trying to link that up, and they're investigating whether these two actually might have been in the same unit. They probably know, but they're not letting us know yet. But yeah, and then there is talk that there's 3-4 others involved that may have set out bombs. I don't know the whole story on that, around different parts of New Orleans, explosive devices that they found. Now let's see. The guy in Las Vegas, he shot himself. He killed himself before he set the bomb off. He must. I don't know if he had a timer or what. And some of the bomb didn't even go off in the back of that Cybertruck. But the Cybertruck directed the blast upward and saving the building and possibly lives. 7 people were reportedly injured. And so, hey, like, share, and subscribe just for the fun of it. Okay, so we're gonna go through this bus here now. And like I say, I'm on the weekly chart, and I'll tell you right now, the dominant trend is down. We have a sell signal in the weekly chart, and this candle will be done tomorrow. And we have an absolute sell signal in the weekly. And in order to have the dominant trend up, you have to have a buy signal in the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. And I would venture to say that we will have a sell signal in the monthly possibly by tomorrow. And that's when we start our new candle. But it'll be too early to tell in the monthly yet. But regardless, it doesn't matter. The dominant trend is 100% down, and that's what's going on. And we are searching for a new bottom pivot point. Okay, so we had a high to low today, the range of $19.69. But in reality, if you take 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time into account, you got over $30 high to low in reality. And that's what Grandpa likes about Tesla, because when you have movement, it gives you an opportunity to make money. Anytime you trade a stock like Tesla, where you have large movements, 20, 30, 40, $50 moves, it gives you an opportunity to do extremely well. And okay, so we had a high today of 392.73. We had a low of 373.04, and we closed at 379.28. However, all night long it traded in the 409 to 411.44. It went back and forth through that number many times last night, and up through 9 o'clock this morning, actually. And then they pulled the plug. The indexes were down, and Tesla underperformed massively. We had divergence, huge divergence. Volume increased today on falling prices. 108 million shares were bought and sold and traded hands, 32 million more than the previous day. So, and what's that mean to Grandpa? Well, that's not real positive. That's fairly negative, if you want to know the truth. And like I said before, the dominant trend is down. Now, pivot points. Previous top pivot point, I'll point it out to you right here, is where this blue line at the top is, 488.54. That's your previous top pivot point. Your previous bottom pivot point was 302.70, $302.70. And like I say, the top pivot point previous was $488.54. So we are currently looking for a new bottom pivot point. Our low today was $373.04. Is it possible that that is our new bottom pivot point? We want to find that bottom pivot point because once we do, it'll zigzag around, but this thing will be going up, up until we find a new top pivot point. Does Grandpa think that 373.04 is the new bottom pivot point? I do not. I do not believe it is. Could Grandpa be wrong? Oh yes, Grandpa can be wrong. I took a little bit of a beating, but I took it earlier on when we dived down from the top on down. I ended up dropping $557, but I managed to. I went short up at the 411 area and managed to pick up quite a chunk of change. So I things could have been much worse. I didn't want to short. I had to. That's just the way it is. Okay, now let's talk volume because volume is hugely important. Now, what Grandpa knows and has gone back into the past and seen before is when the volume starts running in the 50 million range, which is going to start happening here shortly in your near future. And when everybody's scared to death, even more than you are now, wondering if it's going to go to 250, 300, where's this thing going to bottom out? Too scared to buy it. Where Grandpa's going to buy is 348. Okay, now Grandma keeps talking in the other room, and Grandpa loses his train of thought, and then Murphy barks. Okay, so I just can't remember what I was even telling you. Grandpa does have short-term memory loss. You ought to have Grandpa help you. Well, you could always join the Whoopie Doopie Club. Whoopie Doopie, what is it? Well, you want to know what Whoopie Doopie is. If you had Whoopie Doopie, you'd have a lot. You'd have more in your account if you knew about Whoopie Doopie. I could tell you that much. Okay, so volume, very important. Okay. Today, 108 million shares were bought and sold. Yesterday, 76 million bought and sold. Day before, 63 million. Day before, 82, 75, 59, 70. Why is this important? Why it's important is once we stabilize and start getting a few days at the 50 million shares bought and sold per day, 40 million, possibly even high 30 millions, when you see that, there's your first sign. It will be the absolute first sign that we are going to turn and go straight uphill. I see it. Oh, I've gone back when it was 212. And we're in the 50 million, 50 million, 40 million, 50 million, 70 million, and bang, 204 million shares. That's your sign to get in. Have we got that sign yet? No. But we're getting closer to it. So that's what we're looking for. That is exactly what we're looking for, and I'll guarantee you that Grandpa will see it, and Grandpa will tell you. I'll tell you, this is time to get on the bus, okay? This is time to get on the bus and go up. The opposite is true. Like when we were up at 488.54, we had high volume, 129 million, and it had been fairly high volume, running us up there. And uh, when you have high volume over and over and over, you're going to take a dive, and we sure did. We sure did. The stop loss hunters were happy. You got to remember, you're playing against a supercomputer designed 100% to take your money. I'm going to try to get this thing back on the price point, my price ladder here. We're currently trading around 378.85 area. Okay, so upside resistance. But keep in mind that pivot point, we're searching for a bottom, but we're going to know very likely what that bottom pivot point is based on that volume. And that's what you got to understand. And we ain't there yet. We're not there yet. That's why Grandpa don't believe that 373.04 is your new bottom pivot point. We got to have a few days of low volume, and we ain't got it. Might be 4 or 5 days. They might try to bore you to death. Okay, in the meantime, we have upside resistance at 381.68, which I'll tell you right now is also your fair opening price. Do I think we're going to see 381.68 on Friday? Absolutely I do. Can I be wrong? Yes. But I don't think so. I think we're going to see 381.68 tomorrow, and maybe a little bit better. And they've had their fun here. We've dropped over $100 in this stock, so almost 110 or so. Upside resistance above that is 391. It's possible you could see that number tomorrow. 401 above that, you have resistance, and 410. And of course, you have resistance up at 488.54. When we get back up to 488, there will be a bit of a battle. There's going to be a bit of a battle at the 401 area, and so on, once we finally turn upward. Downside support, we have support at $373.04. That's the low of the day so far. And so there'll be slight support in that 373 area. Down below that, we have some support at 370. 367 was a previous high pivot point, actually. And so I think we're going to have a little bit of battle in this area. May run sideways back and forth in a $10, $15, $20 range, possibly for a while. Nobody knows for sure. 362, always remember, trading is reactive, not predictive. And when you see something going on, you have to react to it. The only thing that saved Grandpa is I shorted. And if you have a cash account, you can't do that. And the other thing to save Grandpa is I had an EXTO, so I could trade at 8:30 last night or 8 o'clock last night all the way through the night, and I did. Otherwise, I would have just been massacred completely. Let's see. Downside support. So 373, 370, 362, 350 because it's even number kind of. But where I really believe we're going is 338 to 335 area. That's, in Grandpa's opinion, that's where we're going to possibly bottom out. Can I be off by $10 one way or the other? Absolutely. But that's from everything I'm seeing, 338 to 335 is most likely where we're going to stabilize, get that low volume that Grandpa's looking for, and head back up towards the moon. You know, the moon is at 10,000 and Mars is at 100,000. The future is extremely bright for Tesla. You know all the stories. You know where we're going. We got Department of Government regulation, Elon efficiency. Elon's going to be in charge of that with the WICK Ramaswamy, and we're going to have less regulation. Tesla's future is just phenomenal. Don't count Elon out just yet. But when this thing turns and goes up, you either want to have your shares somehow, or get a bunch more down there, because when she takes off and goes up the next time, I don't think 500 is going to stop us. I think it's going to probably be more like 570, 670, $700, somewhere in there. All speculation. Grandpa's opinion. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And Grandpa, don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice. Grandpa's not a financial planner, and all that kind of stuff. And think about whoopie doopie. What is whoopie doopie anyway? Well, listen to my next live stream. I'll eventually, I promise, I will eventually tell you how you can have the bragging rights. You want the bragging rights. You want to be able to say to the other traders, I'm in the whoopie doopie club. Why, when you go out with your friends, you can say, I trade Tesla and I'm in what's called the whoopie doopie club. And because you're in the whoopie doopie club, you'll know stuff. What will you know? Well, you'll know stuff. Trust me. The whoopie doopie club is Grandma's going to be in the whoopie doopie club. And Grandma's in the green. She's making money. That girl, she always makes money. She dipped down a little bit here, but she's still in the green substantially. And Grandma will sell her shares at a profit when the time comes. She's holding out. Grandma's got the secret weapon. And you know what the secret weapon is? It's patience. Grandma has patience. I wish I had those patience. But nope, Grandma's got them. Grandma's got patience. She always does well. Always. So Grandma will make her profit when the time comes. She might want to sell some at 488, simply because I think we're going to possibly get a dip off of it and she can rebuy some on the way to 577. That's possibly what, I'm only speculating, but that's maybe what Grandma would do. Hey, hey, let's see, what day is tomorrow? I'll see you tomorrow. Think about eternity once in a while. Think about eternity once in a while. And think about Whoopie Doopie too. You want to be in Whoopie Doopie. You grab, well, you're going to be. Uh, Everybody should be in the Whoopie Doopie Club. How prestigious. There's important clubs in this world, but there's none like the Whoopie Doopie Club. I can tell you that. Okay, think about eternity. All is well. Grandma's happy. Uh, your future is bright in this stock. Don't give them your shares unless you can rebuy them for less. That's a fact. Okay, this thing is going up, by the way. Maybe I should show you a few charts real quick. I'll show you the 4 hours so you can see right here. Uh, I have got to get it over to the. There it is. 391.68. These are 4 hour candles each. And that white line is your fair opening price. And we're inching up towards it right now. Grandpa's going to sell some shares there short. Oh boy. And then I'm going to make some money on them on our way to where? 348. Oh boy. It's wonderful. That's the thing with Tesla. There's always an opportunity. Always. Always an opportunity. Okay. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.